I get a lot of questions about the spoken words that I've done on previous records, and I know folks were kind of bummed on Clear the Stage we didn't do one. I tried, actually. I tell people a lot, I tried for 18 months to write a spoken word piece for that album, and nothing ever came. And actually, it's kind of cool that record stands alone in that respect, as not having one. But this record, I ended up recording one that comes on the end of the record. It's called The Story, and man, it was just an interesting thing for me. I love poetry, and for me, it's a really cool outlet to communicate like a lot of truth in a short amount of time. And it's always a challenge too, to make it rhyme and make it meaningful and cool and all that. So we wrote this thing called The Story. I actually wrote it not for the record originally. A girl at our church had asked me to write a spoken word piece for her wedding, and I took her up on the challenge. I was kind of spooked because I hadn't written anything in a while. I didn't know what would come, but a day and a half later I had this 6-minute thesis. And it became known as The Story. We decided to record it on the record. And what's cool too is, for those of you who know my music on past records, if I've done a spoken word, it's just been no track, just vocal, very dry. And we decided, this record's so different musically on so many levels, let's try to add something to it, So Will, my producer, built this really cool, vibey, like Ocean's 11 kind of sound underneath this track, and I performed over the track, and we sort of keyed off each other, and so it sort of almost has like a hip-hop meets slam poetry kind of vibe to it. And I love that we put it on there, because I feel like it's a nice way to sort of seal up the record for me, just content-wise, vision-wise. It's been exciting. So that's on the end of the record. The song's called The Story. The record's called Vice and Virtue, and I hope you guys check it out. The Word became flesh and dwelt among us. He came lowly, perfectly holy. He came like a groom on his way to the altar to meet the bride, and for the dowry he had no cash, so he paid with his life. Are you shocked by the consequence of sin? Be more shocked at the mercy of him. Couldn't free ourselves, so Christ became our freedom. Couldn't fill these lungs, so he became our breathing. We live because he died.